Welcome back to the trading show. We are on time. Notice there is one thing that is different from being on time than all the shows we're late on.
What is it?
It's you, man. And not Rob. It's my Welcome back, guys. We're excited to have you. I'm David. I'm joined with my boy JP over here.
The Zen Master.
You know,
yes, sir.
When we were done with the show yesterday, got up, I looked at his full attire. He's like, man, I was kind of surprised. No one said anything about what did you say about my Buddhist or monk?
I was in a full Zen Master attire, a ceremonial attire yesterday. I assume, I don't know why y'all thought that was normal. I was just wearing some type of I don't know, colonial looking you know
what I think
shirt, right?
I mean, you've been doing the show with us for what, 3 weeks?
It seems about 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2-3 weeks. So
okay.
I think if we were 5 months in and people had known your attire.
Yeah.
If I showed up in that, they were like, what are you wearing, right? So yeah, but anyways, we're ready to go. I want to first start off with a little bit of somber news, but
Chuck Norris!
Got Gino over here doing Pilates.
What a legend!
I know, the man.
A legend!
The man.
And can you get my iPad while you're at it, Gina, since you're coming in? iPad right there. Thank you.
Chuck Norris, the man is no longer with us. He passed away. I remember watching Walker, Texas Ranger with my dad growing up. Man is an absolute legend. And, well, how do we celebrate his life? With some amazing, amazing memes.
You are the best.
Chuck Norris didn't die. He just gave life permission to continue without him. Also, after 86 years of careful negotiation, death finally accepted Chuck Norris's terms. Rest easy, Chuck. We're going to miss you, my friend. Those are the best jokes, the Chuck Norris ones.
Oh, I know all the memes,
The memes are the best.
Indestructible, like Chuck Norris, as tough as Chuck Norris. What a legend.
Chuck Norris took out 2 stones with 1 bird. And then it's a picture of him throwing a bird at 2 stones and striking the stones with a bird. Anyways, all right. Let's dig into the price action. Let's dig into the charts. Bitcoin below $70,000. We'll get a Bitcoin analysis here from our man JP. Taking a look at the bubbles. Look, actually, never mind. I was going to say Bitcoin's up, River's down, but River's down, Bitcoin down. What is going on? What is going on? The world is upside down.
They actually correlated today?
A little bit.
It's funny. I tried to slay the dragon earlier, man. I didn't win. At a very small risk, though, $15 on the stop loss.
On River?
River was flagging, going to the upside while Bitcoin was dumping.
I'm telling you, bro. It's just, I don't know how to trade that stupid-ass token.
I was up slightly. I should have just took my profit. I was up about $10.
That's why, when I made that $70, I was so happy.
You got to take it quick on River. You can't let it, you got to take it quick. Yeah.
Very, very quick. Quicker than most of you are used to. So, I want to, for those of you watching, if you're a Chuck Norris fan, I'd love to see some of your favorite Chuck Norris memes and quotes, so please throw them in the chat. But taking a look at the bubbles here, Bittensor up. I got a Bittensor set up for you guys. Not still a 7-to-1 trade, up 10.3%, and there's good reason for that. Let's actually stop right there. Also, for those of you watching that are Kaspa fans, I'm going to have JP give you guys a top-down price analysis on Kaspa. This has been one of our community favorite projects. We've done a lot of videos, a lot of content covering Kaspa, not as of late, but this was a pretty hot project. 23 going into 2024, cooled off after it hit around 20 cents. Currently trading, I think, at 3 cents now. Yeah, 3.5 cents. And so I'll have JP give a top-down analysis, and then, of course, we'll go hunting for some potential trades. So Bittensor yesterday, if we go out to the 1 hour, and I scalped the Bittensor trade last night. I think I told you, JP. Where is my Bittensor trade? There it is. Scalped a quick $100 on Bittensor, 14%, 24x leverage. I was in the trade for about 11 minutes. Got in at 283, closed at 285. Now, this thing ran up to over $300. So if I would have remained patient and, kept my TP, I would have made a lot more money. But you guys know my style. If I'm happy with my profit, I will.
Hey, a win is a win. $100
is a win.
Let's go.
No one went broke taking money. I also snagged a Bitcoin trade yesterday for another $228.
Nice.
46%. That one I was in for 4 minutes. Pretty cool, right? Made $200 in 4 minutes. This was a short, 70.3 down to 70,000 even. This thing did wick down to 69.7. So not too far off from where it bounced. So, I was happy with my profits there. But for Bittensor, I have a 12-hour 7-to-1 trade setup for you guys. And well, why? Well, let's take a look here. I saw a hidden bullish divergence on Bittensor on this stochastic divergence indicator. And I just looked, I'm like, okay, well, 12 hours is a pretty big time frame. Bittensor had a big rally. And I'm like, well, what have we seen before? Well, here it is. Highlighted on the bottom here. We saw hidden bullish divergence from February 27th through March 7th. So about 10 days, okay? And once that hidden bullish divergence printed, what did Bittensor do? It rallied 66%. Okay, let me grab my brush tool. 66%.
Okay.
Well, what do we have now, JP? We have hidden bearish divergence. Excuse me, hidden bullish divergence.
Okay.
We're at dumping. We had a big move up, big engulfing candle on the 12-hour. We got that kind of liquidity grab wick, put in a lower high with hidden bullish div. So I'm going to take a shot at a long here, but I'm going to wait patiently for that gold pocket to fill. Okay. So my entry price here, for those of you that want to follow, is a 260. Let me see what I have here. 267.12. Let me go here. Let me actually just change that so it's perfectly 267.12. Entry at 267.12. We're kind of splitting the gold pocket in the middle. We do have a market cipher moving average band there, right between our 6.5 and our 618 level. My stop loss is below our 786 at 255.63, and my take profit is at $345 even. Okay, let's change that as well. $345 even. So this is a 6.92 to 1 trade setup. Pretty damn good.
Nice.
I'm risking $93 to make $650. And I did it JP's way this time. I did it by position size.
Awesome.
I didn't just throw my the whole
entire account with the liquidation
I
like
really
right
want
there.
to. I really want to, but hey, So that's my trade setup. And take a look at this. This is Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA, the hottest company in the world right now, right?
Okay.
GPU maker. And he's on the All In podcast. Now, the host of the All In podcast, his name is Jason Calacanis. Pretty big VC guy, pretty well known. He's talked about Bittensor. He's actually an investor in a Bittensor fund, okay?
Okay.
His co-hosts are Chamath Palihapitiya, David Friedberg, and David Sachs. A little less now because now he's working with Trump as their like AI czar or whatever.
Okay.
But they had Jensen Huang on, and I want you to listen to this 1 minute, 20-second clip of this interview. Take a listen.
Because that's how I control it. That's how I ground truth.
Let me ask you a question about open source. So we have these closed source models. They're excellent.
Yep.
We have these open weight models. Many of the Chinese models are incredible, absolutely incredible. 2 days ago, you may not have seen this because you were busy on stage, but there was a training run that happened in this crypto project called Bittensor. Subnet 3, they managed to train a 4 billion parameter llama model, totally distributed, with a bunch of people contributing excess compute. But they were able to do it statefully and manage a training run, which I thought was like a pretty crazy technical accomplishment.
Yeah.
Because it's like random people and each person gets a little share.
Our modern version of folding at home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the end state of open source? Do you see this decentralization of architecture as well and decentralization of compute to support open weights and a totally open source approach to making sure AI is broadly available to everybody?
I believe we fundamentally need models as a first-class product, proprietary product, as well as models as open source. These two things are not A or B, it's A and B. There's no question about it. And the reason for that is because models is a technology, not a product. Models.
So I think that was part of the reason Bittensor had that rally up to 300 some odd dollars. It's seeing a little bit of a pullback now, maybe a little bit of shakeout of the people who got into the longs, or people who are looking to take some profit. You guys know my stance on Bittensor. I've been very vocal about it. JP and I had a back and forth for about 10 minutes. I think he asked some very pertinent questions. Have you ever used it? So here's another example, JP, of things that are happening on Bittensor. So I hold a lot of spot. It's my largest holding. I'm looking to trade it as well. And I'll be honest, man, the profits I make from my Bittensor trades, I just put it right back into my spot bag.
I like it. The question is that an endorsement from the NVIDIA CEO?
I don't think it's necessarily an endorsement from the NVIDIA CEO, but I think if it's an accomplishment that big to bring it up to, some argue, the most powerful CEO in the world.
Seriously.
It's like, one, they're talking about it. It's that clip, probably that podcast probably is going to be watched by, I don't know, a few million people.
Yeah.
It's now on the guy's radar.
Yeah.
You got venture. I mean, Chamath Palihapitiya is a big venture guy as well. And so when you sit there and you think about it, the average person could potentially buy some. It's not too expensive. And now it's starting to pick up some mainstream narrative, some mainstream coverage. And I'll be honest, man, all you would need is one of these large companies to come out and say they've invested in a fund, or they're starting a Bittensor fund, or mention something that happened on Bittensor. Maybe they're going to use it. Yeah. And this thing is gonna. I think the ceiling is gonna get blown off this thing. I truly believe it. Now, I think without that, Bittensor, because of its utility and what they're doing, is still going to appreciate in value. But that would just add some fuel to the fire.
I agree. He seems to at least seem to be adopting the use case, And like you said, if one of these companies, these AI companies or chip makers, maybe they'll use it, and maybe as infrastructure, or partner somehow, with Bittensor. I see that as a real possibility. I like it. I'm getting kind of excited about Bittensor, honestly.
Yeah, man. And the one thing I like about you, JP, is you do ask those questions. Some people blindly just, wow, oh my God, he said this about Bittensor, I'm going to go buy it. Yeah. I think asking the pertinent questions and really, does the investment thesis make sense for you?
Bullish on the technology, not the coin.
Yes.
Just bullish on the best coin for the technology.
Correct. And the root token, which is Tau, captures a lot of the economic value that flows into these subnets.
Absolutely.
So that's a plus. So I'm curious though, on this trade setup, JP, to kind of get your a second eye on this.
Okay.
So 12-hour hidden bullish divergence. Last time we saw hidden bullish div on the 12-hour. Now, to be fair, the difference here was Bittensor had been consolidating for quite some time.
Okay.
Right? And then the big move up. Now it seems like Bittensor had a big wick liquidity grab up, and I'm playing a little devil's advocate here.
Yeah, it worries me a little bit right there. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that trade setup? Would you alter it? Would you not even take it? Or is there a level below where I have my entry that you'd feel more comfortable getting into a trade like that?
Well, give me the entry again that you have.
267.12.
Okay.
That is gold pocket retracement from the last move from 243 up to the wick high of 312.
Okay. Gotcha. I see. Okay. Well, I like the overall structure of what Bittensor is doing here. And you basically took this fib, right? Right there. Yep. Okay. Not bad. That was a nice bounce off that 21 MA. I like where we are above my 200. Stokes a reset. Everything looked great for that bounce. I love that. That really was a nice trade. So now you want to get in, but on a slight retracement, still going to the upside.
Yeah.
Somewhere around here. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would just add some caution. I don't like that the big wick, the big liquidity, wick right there. Let's go. I would have to look at a smaller time frame, just maybe about half of this time frame, like the 6 hour. Okay, you still got some room left on your RSI, green dot. Momentum is kind of, coming up, but, kind of a little indecisive here, right? It looks like there's some room though. There is some room to go up, or maybe even come down some. Let me just go to a 4 hour. I just need some more. 4 hour looks like it wants to come down. The question is, will it come down past your entry? You know, your entry is right here. Well, it's bullish formation. I'm not in love with the trade, but I'm a different kind of trader, you know, just being completely honest. If we're really bullish, if Bitcoin, you know, somehow does reach the 80K before the 60K, this may happen. Maybe we just come down a little bit. Bitcoin just sweeps to 66K liquidity. We come down here. Maybe we hit the 786. You know, as long as we put in that higher low, you should still be good. Where's your stop loss? How tight is the stop loss there?
Below the 786.
Below the 786. Okay. So somewhere right here. Okay.
Stop loss is 255.
255. Yeah.
Other way.
Sorry, 55 right here. Okay. Well, you see how close I got to it with my little projection, you know? So you may be okay, but it's a little close to the bone.
Yeah.
You know, I would say, you know, it's close to the bone, a little bit too close for my comfort. But, you know, if things work out bullishly overall in the market,
Just say you don't like the
you
trade,
may be
bro.
okay.
Just say you don't like the
I'm
trade,
trying to be
man.
so
No,
nice,
just say
so nice and cordial
Just
about
say
it.
I know you are. You're dancing around it. Just say you fucking.
I don't love it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. Okay.
You're in the middle. My boy over here trying not to hurt my feelings. It's okay, man.
I am,
hold
man.
it
I
against
care
you,
about
bro.
your feelings,
I
man.
promise, bro. I promise.
The Zen Master cares about you.
I want to know what the chat thinks. Is it chat? Is it chat with me? You guys like the trade, or you or JP? You're kind of iffy about it. I want to read some of these Chuck Norris memes here. A1 said, Bruce did spare Chuck more than once. They did a movie together, and Chuck said Bruce had the fastest, most powerful kicks he had ever had. Try and blocking Bruce's hands were on. Okay.
How about Mike Danger? How about this one? He said, Chuck Norris didn't die. He just gave life permission to continue without him.
I like that one, too.
That's a good one.
D. Jennings said, Chuck once got bit by a python. After 5 grueling and painful days, the snake finally died. That's a good one. Dwarf, oh, we call it Dwarf D. Dennis. We call him Triple D. Triple D said, what's up, man? What's going on, bro? How you been? Legendary God King said, Chuck Norris is the reason why Waldo is hiding. I like that one, too. All right, cool. So with that being said, let's take a peek at Bitcoin. Can we see a bounce here from Bitcoin? Are we going to get back up to that 70K level? We're seeing a little bit of chop here. It's like this range is starting to get a little tighter. Potential. Is this a potential head and shoulder setup on the 12-hour?
Ooh, let's see.
6 hour, maybe 2, 4 hour. I don't know. What do you think, JB?
It could be. So I've been paying very close attention to the 4 hour range. And in fact, you know, I was bullish on it until I wasn't, you know, and I didn't change my mind. You know, the charts changed its mind. So let's show you what I was thinking here. Let me go to the Discord, which I'm updating every day. It's free. The link, of course, is in the description of the video. So I was actually, you know, longing the 4 hour range for Bitcoin with this setup here. It looked good. You know, we wicked down to that 69,420 level, very close to that 200 MA in the 4 hour. We had you know, some candles coming up. It looked good, and I was in the long, but I eventually closed out the long in profit because I saw something else. Okay. And here's that long. I didn't get much off it, but I didn't lose money, right? 15%, $38. And I use that same setup on SWE, by the way. A lot of times when I'm feeling good about a trade, I'll take a trade on Bitcoin, but do the same trade on an altcoin like Solana or SWE. And I really ran, and I'll close that trade out sooner. So I really ran this one up, the SWE trade. This one was a 44% trade, $359. That was pretty nice. But I saw something this morning. When I woke up this morning, I looked at the 2 hour chart, and let's take a look at it. Did I post that here? Well, besides the 2 hour chart, look at this liquidity chart from this morning. You see the head and shoulders?
Yeah.
And then the concentrated liquidity below us. Once again, we had this, like, the same thing happening where we would just take liquidity, then come back up to resistance and come down, take liquidity, go back up to resistance and come down. That looked like it was about to happen again. And then when we go to the Bitcoin 2 hour chart, and it looked like this. And early this morning, we were right at that blood diamond. That blood diamond had just printed. And tell me that doesn't look like, short me. It's literally screaming short me. No?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. Volume's rising.
Yeah. And if
You had the trigger wave short there.
And it looked more like this. I just replayed a little bit. It looked like this, and the candle wasn't even all the way down yet. That looks. Look at the RSI. Look at the red dot. That's screaming short me. So I did just that.
So you listened.
Yeah, I listened to the charts. So I shorted this puppy. I closed out all of my longs, and now here is the trade. I'm currently up about 42%, $164 in the
Tell me
short.
about this trade, bro.
Yeah, this is the short. Based on the 2-hour time frame, stop loss above this wick high at 71,438. The entry was about 70,295, and I'm willing to take this down all the way to about 66,000 or even 67,000, lined up with the liquidity zone. We should take a look at that. Where we are right now, 5-minute chart liquidity zone. We got local liquidity below us. We got concentrated liquidity below us. We've hit resistance already. We've made head and shoulders. We're coming down. I mean, probability says we're coming down, and I would prefer we come down. Let's just come down and sweep this liquidity so we can then get bullish at the bottom of the range. Yeah, I would love that scenario. Let's come down to about 66 or 67,000, and I will be looking for longs on a 4-hour chart if that happens.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just kind of cycling through the time frames here on Bitcoin. Let's see.
And here's the 4-hour again, and this thing, man, it looked good once again until it didn't. And it looks like it's rolling over. It's rolling over. And the green dot on the 4-hour was one of my confirmations for my long. And it completely have reversed course. So, I am now going with the current trend of most likely down.
Yeah, I mean, here's what the 6-hour looks like, right? We have kind of a rising wedge here, rising channel. We had a little bit of it. I would call this a deviation, right? Because if we keep the trend line like this, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 taps on it. But the bottom end of this range is interesting. You're almost close to it. And so I would expect the bounce here. So, would you be willing to take any profit off the table on this bounce?
From my short?
Yeah.
Yes.
68,869.
So, yeah, I see what you're saying. We are in some type of rising channel here, and technically we do have higher lows. Even on a 4-hour, technically my 4-hour trade isn't invalidated yet. Right. It just looked really bad on the shorter to medium time frames, So as a safety precaution and just, as a hedge, safety precaution, and just in spirit of not fighting the charts, it looks like we want to take that. Why take the loss on the long when I could just...
Listen, bro, if there's any day to fight the chart, it's the day Chuck Norris died, okay?
In the spirit of Chuck Norris.
Fight him.
I'm not fighting the charts. So I'm almost willing to I am willing to get stopped out on this short trade. Just to see if we want to take this liquidity. I would prefer we just take the liquidity. Just take it. Get everybody bearish again. We'll sweep it real quick, and then we can get bullish.
Sounds like a man who's got a short position in. Just
seriously,
take it, please.
But where would that put us? Would that completely break our trend? Would that make things look really bad? 66 or 67,000. So we'd be somewhere right here, right? We would have broke trend out of this channel, right?
What's that measured move, by the way?
How bad would that have looked? Let's see, like from where we are now, that's like a 4% drop, 4.2% drop. How would structure look? Basically, you would come down here. Maybe we could inverse and keep going. I don't know. I agree. So I'm kind of, I have kind of two ways of looking at this. We can make money on its way down, and then maybe, somehow get this bounce and still be bullish. Or maybe we just, we do put in the higher low in the 4-hour or the 6-hour, and just Bitcoin actually reverses. Would that be a terrible thing if Bitcoin reverses?
Well, it is
to the
Friday.
upside?
Can we expect a Trump announcement?
Yeah.
Usually, if it's a good announcement, it would have already been made, right?
True.
The Friday aftermarket announcements are the bad ones.
Yeah. Yeah,
he's not coming in on a Friday after markets close to give a good announcement because he wants the markets to rally, right? So, but for me, objectively speaking, if that was my trade that you're in right now, JP.
Yes.
I personally would, if I was very confident that we're going to break below that trend line and get that break to the downside from that rising channel.
Yep.
I would probably take 50% of my position off the table at 68.8, just in case we get that bounce.
Yeah.
We've gotten that bounce 1, 2, 3, 4 times now.
Yeah. I see
Am I
that.
betting on the 5th time it doesn't bounce? I don't know. I'd rather take some profit off the table. I'd rather be in a free trade, essentially.
That's fair. And you're using this diagonal, basically trend
That's
line.
a pretty solid trend line, man.
It is. I guess the way I was looking at it is erase these diagonals. I was looking at the purely horizontal trend line. You see like the value area high here and value area low here. We bounce up, reject it, come back and chop around here, maybe come down here one more time for another bounce, or maybe we completely lose the range at that point.
Right.
You know, either way, the shorter pay will play out. But I don't know. It's kind of like insurance policy. I almost want to, play both ways. Maybe I hop back into the 4 hour if we get a bounce and hold my short. Maybe I hold my short and break even or some type of, 25% or some type of gain on it.
It's not a bad idea.
All right. One of them will win.
What I also did was I canceled my limit long order on Tau, and the reason I did that this morning when I posted that, we didn't have a red dot. This is a very clear. It's on the 4 hour too. Now the 12 hour is still bullish, right? But that doesn't mean we can't see more downside on the lower time frames before we see that bounce. I will be eyeing a Bittensor long. I just want to see how this is going to play out. But this is a very clear anchor wave, trigger wave short here. You got that tiny momentum wave that kind of got this kind of hunched over, red dot, money flow coming down, Stokes and RSI coming down. And then when you look at the 4 hour, was it the 4 hour or the 3 hour or the 4 hour or the 2 hour that had bearish div, it looks like I'm mistaken. Could have swore there was bearish div on the low time frame. Okay. So either way, we got market cipher there it is. It was a 5 hour. Bearish div on the 5 hour, 4 hour red dot trigger wave for a short. And again, I will be looking for a long, but I canceled my limit order. If anything, we'll get a better entry. Maybe we bounce at the 786. Maybe we come back down and rotate the entirety of this move at 242. If that's the case, even better stop loss and even bigger profit, which would probably give us closer to a 11-1 long trade setup. And so for me, just to kind of update you guys, I want to see how this 4 hour red dot plays out on Market Cipher. And then at that point, once I start to see, maybe we'll see a little bit of consolidation. Maybe we'll see something like this, where we have an engulfing candle at the bottom end of a trend. We start seeing volume increase. Then we jump in. So just to kind of give the community an update. I do like your short though, man. At 70 point, what did you say? 70.1K on Bitcoin?
I got in at 70,000, about 250 actually.
70,
around there.
250, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that short.
Yeah.
And like I said, the only thing I would do different, JP, is I would take 50% off the table at 68.8.
Okay.
So yeah. Also, if the people are watching, well, I know the people are watching, but for the people watching, if you want us to take a look at a chart, maybe a trade setup on your favorite altcoin, maybe you're in a trade and you want a second and third opinion, please throw it in the chat. Dejenna said, I love David's comedic take poking at JP fishing for validation. Okay. JP.
Yes, sir.
Kaspa. This has been, a lot of our community members, big Kaspa fans.
Okay.
My Tangem card is a Kaspa card. Here, let me show you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. By the way, we've officially partnered with Tangem. We're gonna do some cool things with these guys. We're excited for that. So my Tangem card is a Kaspa card. Okay. I got a little bit of Kaspa, not much. A little bit of Kaspa. I like the project. I think it can be useful. It just the market hasn't picked it up essentially. So we're betting on at some point in the very near future, the market's going to catch up and we'll want to build on Kaspa. With that being said, we don't really look at Kaspa. We don't really talk about Kaspa anymore as much as we used to. I'd love to get some fresh eyes on a Kaspa chart, JP. I don't know how often you've charted Kaspa.
Not often at all.
So beautiful. So if you can give us a top-down analysis, man, of price action, and of course, as always, if there's any trade setups looming in the charts, please give it to us. And after that, we'll take a look at ADA because K. Cron said looking for T on ADA.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Let's do some live impromptu TA on Kaspa. Fresh eyes for you. Top down. Let's start on the monthly chart here. So, you had a big run up and a major downtrend here, right? So, we're in a very much discount right now. Let me draw a trend line. Let's get some key levels drawn in for you. Horizontal line. I would use this level. I would say you're still in a downtrend on the macro until you could break above this level, which is about 5 cents, 5.2 cents for Kaspa. We're currently floating around 3 cents, 3.5 cents. Okay, and notice I have my visual range volume profile here, and we can see that huge volume gap once you get to about that level I just put, this 5 cents, 5.2 cents. If you can get to this level, you can shoot really fast up to about 7 cents, and that's another major level for you. So I'll draw that in. That's the next resistance zone, 7.5 cents, and we'll put one more major level with another volume gap to your next high volume node at about 11 cents, 11.7 cents for Kaspa. Okay, so now let's zoom into the weekly. And you're still in the downtrend. You got rejected from the 21 MA. That's my white line. The red line is the 50 MA. And let's zoom out. Okay. I mean, you're attempting to break trend here, but you haven't still. Here is another trend line for you. Locally on the weekly, you got to get above that 3.9 cents level. That's exactly what we got rejected from. For a larger uptrend, let's go down the time frame. Let's go to a 10-hour time frame for Kaspa. Here you're showing some strength. You broke above a moving average. The also important 200 moving average. That's the yellow line. We have a golden cross with the 21 MA coming up. You broke above with some strength here. Measured move. What is that? A 36% pump. That's pretty good. And that started on 315 just 5 days ago. Not bad. Big pump for Kaspa. And it looks like it's retracing and bouncing off moving averages. And if I had to say, that looks to be about a 50%, between the 50% and 618 level. Let's measure it with the fib. This looks like a trade right here.
Yeah.
And look at that, pretty close. Look, between the 58 and the 618, exactly in between. And you already bounced from there. I would love to look at the RSI. The RSI is low, but it has not curved yet. So, that would be somewhat of a front run based on the RSI. We do love market cipher B. The money flow looks good. The volume's fading out. Doesn't look amazing. You're still waiting to print a green dot on that time frame. This is the 10-hour time frame for Kaspa. I'm going to go to a smaller time frame. So that looks like a bounce. It looks like a potential trade right there. But I would say it's a little bit of a front run, and you got to be careful. Entry right around those moving averages. I would put a stop loss about there and take this up as far as it wants to go, but at least to the top of the range. That's about a 5-to-1, 4.9. If you want, the entry for that would be 0.0347. So 3.4 cents on the entry. Stop loss 0.33. And for the take profit would be 0.41. So that's 4.1 cents. On a 10-hour trade, I like those kind of big trades, big time frame trades like that. It's less manipulation and volatility. Let's go down to a 4-hour. A 4-hour, there's a little more zoomed in view of your run up. And you can see clearly why it came down. Major bearish divergence, of course, that always tells you. And look how bottomed out the RSI is, a stochastic RSI. Now I have my regular RSI here as well, so you can see it could still go down more according to the regular RSI, which is pointing down. Big wick off the 50 MA, the red line, right? Not too bad.
It was a perfect bounce there, huh?
Yeah, perfect bounce off that moving average. Let's do a fib on that. It's probably, once again, the 618. Yeah, about a 618, almost reached your 786. That is a perfect bounce range, right about there. So it's already bouncing exactly from where it should be. So I would say Kaspa looks very healthy for its current bounce. But let's go to now maybe a 1 hour and 30 minute. Then I'll get down to about the 5 minute and the very right now time frames. Look at that, bouncing perfectly off of 200 MA on the 1 hour. The RSI is low and pointed up. Stochastics is pointing down. Money flow is a little bit questionable there as you just entered the red, right? But hey, maybe that's because that's a great bounce zone. Sometimes, it likes to do something like this, just briefly go into the red as it bounces and comes back up.
Like to dip his toe in,
A little,
Real quick, are you the kind of guy that, like, when you're getting ready to go to the pool, you have to check the water first, you just jump in?
I do check the water
Me
first.
too, bro.
I do check the water. Yeah, I don't know.
Raw dog pool jump like that,
But I do. But once I do get in, I do jump in. I don't gradually get in.
Me too.
Yeah.
Toe in, take it out, let it rest for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Entire foot in. We're good.
And then cannonball, exactly. I kind of even like this 1 hour trade. Check it out. I mean, you don't have the green dot confirmation. You have to look at some other metrics. But what if you long this? What if you took your entry around there? You had a tight stop loss below that moving average and take this to the top of the range. I like this better than the other trade. This gives you a 5.5 to 1 risk reward ratio. Now, it may be difficult getting into this trade because this thing is moving fast. So entry somewhere around 3.5 cents, stop loss at 3.38 cents, and a take profit at 4.2 cents. I like this trade a lot right there for Kaspa on the 1 hour. And for the degenerate scalpers, now we're almost there. 15 minute looks pretty bearish, right? Look at that. But maybe too bearish, right? 15 minute. Let's see. So let me get rid of some of these lines real quick. Okay, you lost a 200 on the 15. You had some bearish consolidation, bear flagged. I think you dumped the entire measured move almost there. Yeah, pretty much. You took the entire measured move. Now, this is a risky bounce according to the 15 because you don't have any confirmed reversal patterns here. So, ideally, if you want to be safer, you would look for this to V-shaped recovery and be symmetrical with it, kind of consolidate where it consolidated on the way down, inverse head and shoulder, cross that 200. That's a good trade around this area for a safe trade, to confirm the reversal. Because right now, that reversal is not confirmed.
Right.
That's a falling knife.
But I thought you like catching them, right?
Sometimes, yeah, with proper risk, I do. But, it depends on your risk appetite. I'm not telling you what to do, but it is a falling knife on the 15 minute. That can go lower. Let's go to 5 minute and finally the 1 minute. Same thing on the 5 minute, but the V is at least starting to play out a little bit here, right? And honestly, that's the kind of bounces you want. You want those big wicks down there.
5 minute looks strong.
Yeah, you got the 3 white soldiers just about to print. That's 3 big green candles in a row.
No downside wicks, right?
Yeah. Look at that. No downside wicks on those candles. Let's zoom in there. Look at the volume. We like it.
That looks good.
And they just printed that candle there, right? So you got your 3 white soldiers. You got your liquidation wick. You're coming up. That looks almost like a good entry there. Not bad.
Now, do you wait for a break above the 200 and retest on an entry, or because it's approaching we assume a resistance level?
So
right?
for me personally, I would like to see us do this, and at minimum, maybe, but the thing is that is resistance now too, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's resistance. I would like to see us break above the moving average and then retrace, and then that will be the entry.
So a retest.
Yeah.
I like entering retests.
Me too. And here is the 1 minute. You have even more of a V.
Wait. What do you see on the chart, JP? Market cipher A.
What do I see? Is that the green dot of doom? Boom, 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 boom.
I mean, it's going against us right now, but hey.
Yeah, so you're breaking out. I bet Bitcoin is probably doing something. But so exactly what I said, get above the moving average. So it's happening quicker in real time here in a 1 minute, what I just described in a 5 minute. Yeah. So you want this to come above the 200, and then you want it to come and retest it. And then hopefully your 21 should catch up. You want that 21 to catch up and use that for support. And that could be good.
I like that, man.
And that's the entry, basically, that you could even make this a bigger trade. If you get a good entry here, that could be a bigger trade on like the 10 hour, you know, or the 12-hour time frames. Yeah, that could be a bigger trade. Actually, the weekly is a better way to look at that. You know, so you will already be in the trade, put your stop loss in the break even. And if you happen to break above these moving averages on a weekly, you already be in the trade and just ride it up, you know?
Yeah, that would be a massive trade.
Ride it up to Valhalla.
If you can stick with it. I probably wouldn't stick with it.
Yeah.
I would take my profits.
We don't trust it.
I just don't trust the market, man.
I get it. Yeah, me too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we're in a bear market.
We are.
You really want to stay in the long unless you think the bottom is completely in?
We are.
So that's one thing to keep in mind.
What's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin is recovering above the 200, touching the 21. We got some green dots. We got hidden bullish divergence. My short is probably done.
Nah, you still in the profit.
I'm still all right. $86. I'm still here.
Where was that tap there? Were you in before that tap, JP?
Which tap? No, I was in right here. And notice that white line. What do you think that white line is?
That is a line you drew.
69,420. Yeah, baby. It's a critical level. I'm not making this up, okay?
He's not. I swear. I saw the man put in the research. He did not come up with those numbers himself.
Are you telling? Look at the, first of all, this wicked off of it. Look at the candle bodies, how close that is to it. Like, seriously? And look over here.
Loves those numbers.
There's some type of degenerate whale that's buying at 69,420. That is my short-term price level to see higher prices.
Okay. You said this. Who's the only person in the world that would find it funny to deploy $1 billion into Bitcoin at 69,420?
I'll give you a hint. The Doge Master.
Elon Musk, bro. I'm telling you, It has been confirmed. Elon Musk is buying billions of dollars at Bitcoin at $69,420. Look at the damn chart. Look at the damn chart. Wick, bounce. Close, bounce. Wick, bounce.
Honestly, I should have took profit there. That would have been a perfect profit level, and then get back into my long. 69,420. Trust it.
We're going to ping Elon right now. We're going to ping Elon right now. We're going to go, hey, Elon. Where's Elon? Hey, Elon Musk. Is this you buying Bitcoin at $69,420? And then what time frame are you on? So I can screenshot a picture of the chart.
Okay.
With your 69,420.
Well, let's see. I think it looks better on the 2 hour. I'm on a 4 hour right now, but let me go to the 2 hour real quick.
4 hour look good too, though.
Yeah. Yeah, either or.
So let's actually open up a different Bitcoin chart.
Look, there's more wicks in the 2 hour. Look at that, right? Look at that.
Fresh one. Bitcoin. Let's open up Bitcoin Kraken. Okay. That's a fresh chart. Let's get rid of these indicators.
And put a line, and then you could write in the coordinates, so it'll be exactly at 69,420.
Exactly, bro. You feel me, bro? So we're going to draw a trend line here. We'll drop a horizontal. We'll go up here, and then we'll bump the coordinates up to 69,420.
And look at the SR flip, and just it's so confluent, that level. Look at it.
Yeah, let's go blue, and let's make it thick because we like them thick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Look at that. You see it?
And then we'll drop a text box in here. Big buyer. We'll make this as large as we possibly can because we know Elon's a little older. He's got bad eyesight. And then we'll drop 69,420 there. You see what I'm doing for man, if Elon Musk, 69,420, big buyer. We'll go here, screenshot, copy image, paste image, bam. Okay.
Yep. And just so you know, folks, how I got that level is basically taking the 50% of our last big daily candle we had. Yeah, this candle right here, I had drew a box and put 50%, and it happened to be 69,420.
Yeah, I'm sure it did, JP.
It was this one right here. Just
Great level.
Just the body.
Isn't that where we topped out last cycle in 2021? 69,420, something like that? 69?
Somewhere. I have to look at the level.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was like around 69,420. That right in between that green candle. We come lower than that 50% line. I'm bearish. We stay above it. I'm bullish. So I'm pretty bullish right now. And honestly, I hope I get stopped out of this short. I hope I lose this trade.
So that means you would have liked my Bitunix trade. I canceled it because of you, bro. I'm just kidding. I did not cancel it because of you. I don't ever make my decisions based off other people's opinions. I take them into account for sure, but ultimately decisions are my own. I do have a very important pull up. Do you toe dip first before jumping into the pool, or do you raw dog the jump? We want to know. We need to know what our community does. And then Legendary God King said, JP, demand went positive on Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, with that being said, I'm going to look at, I'm going to give you a Cardano analysis for our friend here. Where did he go? K-Cron. Cardano. I have a trade set up for you on the 8-hour. So Cardano had this kind of rising expanding wedge, right? I think some people call it a megaphone. These typically do break to the upside. If we can pull this up here.
Okay.
These do typically break to the upside. Guys, gonna pull up the computer, please? There we go. These things do typically break to the upside, but we got to break below in a failed retest. Okay? Break below, failed retest.
Uh-oh.
Okay? Pretty bearish. Cardano has been, let's just face it, guys. Price action has been fucking terrible. Okay? But I got some potential good news. Okay? Take a look at this. I'm going to pull up the Stokes. Hidden. Bullish divergence, right? We just hit our trough there. And so we should see a reversal to the upside. So here's my trade setup for you, my friend. It is a long. We're going to remain patient. We're going to try to grab the bottom, the bottom here, right? We wicked down there twice, almost 3 times. So the entry would be, let's say, almost a 7-to-1 trade setup. Your entry is 26.34 cents. Your take profit is, guess what? Another failed retest to get back into this pattern, which would be at, there's so many fucking indicators and numbers on the side. There we go. 27.22. And your stop loss is 26.21 for a 7-to-1 trade setup on a long. Now, if Cardano decides to continue to rally, let's say it rotates into the, back into the range, and we rotate to the top end of this range, I would not leave the entire position open to take this trade. I would definitely take at least 50% off the table once we approach the trend line here for a potential failed retest. But there's a very well possibility that this could have been a deviation and we see just a run back to the inside of that channel there, okay? The inside of that rising megaphone channel wedge.
Yeah.
That would be a 27-to-1 trade setup. So is it probable? I would say probably not, especially if Bitcoin stays below $72,000 to $75,000. Definitely below 70K. That ain't happening, right? Unless some breakthrough comes from Cardano, which I'm not expecting, to be honest. But the 8-hour looks a little more bullish than lower time frames look pretty bearish. Bear div on the 4-hour, 2-hour. Stokes rolled over. We're kind of starting to see some downside price action. Volumes increasing on the move down. 1 hour. I think there was a 2-hour. There was a 4-hour red dot that just printed on Market Cipher B. 2-hour momentum is shot on the lower time frames. 30-minute. Hidden bearish div on the 30-minute just printed there as well. A little bit of a, you want to call this a head and shoulders, JP? No, not really. Never mind.
No, I wouldn't call it head and shoulders.
This is definitely not head and shoulders. No, I don't really see
maybe a bigger head and shoulder there. It's not.
Not really. This is a Bart
perfect.
Simpson.
That's a Bart Simpson for sure. That is Bart Simpson.
Beep, beep, beep,
Yep. And maybe a
Bear flag down.
Yeah, bear flags, maybe descending triangle there. I see it kind of just trending down. Yep.
So lower time frames look fairly bearish. It kind of like the Bittensor, right? Low time frames look bearish. High time frames look a little more bullish. 8 hour looks bullish. 12 hour. Daily.
Yep.
Daily looks ugly. We had bear div and hidden bear div on the daily. So so in that case, then this is definitely just your 7-to-1 trade, right?
Daily looks really bad.
Yeah, take your profit on the failed retests of this trend line and call it a day, man. That's still a 7-to-1 trade. Like, you're gonna make money. But ADA just, man, I don't know, man. It's been one of the more disappointing L1s, in my opinion.
I agree.
And and I'm not saying it's a dead chain. I'm not saying there's no users. I'm not saying any of that. It's just been underperforming for a long time. I mean, JP, look at this chart, bro. Look at this chart. This is ADA against Bitcoin on the daily.
Sheesh.
Look at ADA against Bitcoin on the weekly.
Oof.
My friend, we've been in a downtrend since August of 21.
It looks really bad. I do like the curve though. Is that like 1/2 of a complete curvature?
Here?
No, just the entire trend. You see how it's coming down, but it's coming down like half of a circle. All right. Maybe we're at the bottom of the circle before a breakout.
I mean, JP, if we were to rewind,
yeah.
How do you do the rewind thing, by the way?
Top is it says replay.
Yeah.
Yeah, replay. Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Okay. So I'm not going to replay, but if you were to look at this, you would say the same thing, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You
Oh,
see how I
looks
made
like
a cup
it's
and handle?
rounding out.
Yes.
And then nope,
Lower.
lower, and then there we go, and then
But look at the previous like candles, like when it was in a downtrend before. It was a similar thing, but it ended up cup and handle reversal pattern its way on out.
here.
Like way back. You see that?
Here.
Yeah, you see that? I would like to see something like that.
Bro, that was in 2020, bro. That was when Cardano still had a lot of hype. That was when we're in the era, JP,
Yeah.
of they're coming, we're getting ready.
Yeah.
Now we're in the era of they're here. Are you ready?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So,
And for me, I'm a use guy, man. I honestly tried to use Cardano, and it didn't make any sense to me. The DeFi,
it's got like, yeah.
It's to me, it's way bigger than how many cheerleaders you have. How useful is it? Can I borrow money? Can I lend money? Can I,
Yeah. Can I put my money to use?
Yeah. Can I do tokenized stocks? What are you offering me?
I will say I do love the, what the fuck? I do love the on-chain liquid staking. So one thing I do like about it, I can stake it from my hardware wallet and it's liquid. I don't got to wait for a cooldown period. I don't got to wait for an exit queue. I unlock it. It's in my wallet in 2
Did it give you one of those liquidity tokens that you can then kind of double DeFi it?
No, like
Okay.
What's the word? What's the word? Like a synthetic version of it, kind of, where it represents it. It represents your stake value. No, not that I know of.
Okay.
I'm sure there's maybe protocols that do that. But
I think that's
me,
what liquid staking normally means. I think.
Well,
I want to say.
For me, okay, so maybe I use the wrong terminology.
Okay.
But with Cardano, for example, when you stake on chain, it's not locked up.
Gotcha.
So you can stake it right now.
Unlock it
and
anytime.
In 5 minutes, you can say, you know what, I changed my mind. You can get your coins back in 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
If you do it on ETH,
yeah.
you got to wait 7 days. Like Venice token. I unstaked that almost $7.
Yeah.
Guess what? It took 7 days to unstake. By the time it unstaked, it dropped down under $6.
Yeah.
So
that's like Atom. It's like 2 weeks or something like that.
yeah, man. Some of these are crazy. Like Virtuals was 30 days. That's way too long, man. So that's the one thing I will say.
Okay.
Is with Cardano, but at the end of the day, guys,
And it is part of the President Trump announced U.S. crypto reserve. ADA, Sol, Bitcoin. There might have been one more in there. ADA, Sol, Bitcoin,
and
Cardano. Yeah, ADA. It is
BNB
ADA.
because
BNB.
He's got pardoned. I don't think
God.
it's BNB because it's not.
I forget what it was. I'll have to look that up. That list.
Yeah. All right, I'm ending the poll here. It looks like 61% of our community likes to tip their doughs dip their toes in. God, I can't speak today. Jojo said, holy congrats to anyone who took that Kaspa trade. Is it like up massively?
Which Kaspa trade?
The one you were literally
when I was literally the different time frames I showed you.
Yeah.
I didn't show a real small one, right? I showed the 1 hour. I showed
the 5 minute and the
5 minute. Let's take a look.
Holy shit, bro! Look at this. I'm on the 5 minute. Okay. This was when did you start talking about it? Like 10 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago?
Yeah, I guess so. But Bitcoin is
Look at
Bitcoin
this.
dumped though. It's starting to come back. Interesting. Okay.
This is a 10% trade that you gave people in like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, you're welcome.
Why the fuck didn't I take it?
The Zen Master has blessed you.
Why did you know, man? You listen, man. You got to be more forceful with me, bro.
But I don't know, man. Overall,
No,
Bitcoin
hold on.
looks shaky, man. I don't know. Take your profits quick, people.
Listen, bro, stop. When you gave that trade, why didn't you not look at me and say, David, this is a good trade, man. What are you doing? You should be entering. I give you permission. Yeah, but I mean, dude, 10% in a matter of what, 20 minutes, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Pretty solid. So you're welcome, guys. Thank you, JP. Also, I would highly, highly encourage everyone that is watching to go join our Discord. It is free. I actually created my own trade setup channel, following the Zen Master's footsteps here. We used to have one for community trade setups, but I kind of want to create something similar to what JP does. I don't foresee myself posting as much or as detailed analysis as him. That's kind of JP's wheelhouse. But I mean, I do, but there's just so much going on that I don't really have the time, honestly, to do the analysis. You do a great job, man. So we'll leave that to JP, but I'll be posting my trade setups, what I like, what I don't like.
Nice.
And so, but the most up-to-date info you're going to get on my trading is on the show. Because you guys know, I am very quick to react and move. Like that Bittensor trade. If you saw it in Discord and you didn't watch it live, you might have gotten into that trade. Now, I did delete the post in Discord because I didn't want anyone who watched it later to see it. But yeah, you'll be getting all of our trading information on here, and our Discord is free. You don't got to pay anything. And I mean, just take a look at this channel right here. My boy's putting in some work over here, man. And so this is all free info, free content, bouncing ideas off. So go join our Discord. Also, if you want to support the channel, there's a link in the description to get on Bitunix to start trading with us. That really helps us out with paying the overhead bills here, guys. We appreciate it. That's all I got, man. You got anything
Absolutely. Else? No, Bitcoin looks like she's going to dump.
Is she?
Yeah.
Got a big dumper there, huh?
And NASDAQ is dumping. Dow Jones is dumping.
I'll leave you guys with this. Watch for the 68.9 level. Watch for 68.9. If you're in a trade, look what happens if you start seeing a sharp bounce. Take some of your profits if you're in a short. That's what I would do. Could it go down more? Of course. Could it play it all the way down to 66? Absolutely. But why not take some profit if it's there, man?
Yeah.
Right? No one goes broke taking profits. That's a true saying. Thank you all very much for joining us. That'll do it for the show today. We'll be back on Monday for a morning and an afternoon show. Well, not an afternoon show, but a morning and a trading show. So you get double Sin City Crypto. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure to do so. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Have a good weekend.